country with thick, rich veins of the yellow stuff in the surrounding hills. Now all the gold was long since gone, except for that which remained in men's dreams. I thought I heard a cry, a long ways off. Could have been an animal. Then it could have been something else.
We ain't got time for any more of that.
Can you think of a better way to make him talk?
Yeah. One sure way. Now listen to me, old man, because I'm only going to ask you this one more time. You can still hear, can't you?
I can still hear.
That's good. Because maybe now you can stay alive. Now for the last time, where'd you find that gold?
You'll have to kill me first.
Any way you like it, old man.
Vent, father.
Drop the gun, easy. Now, the next one goes right between your eyes. You're Hiram Grover, aren't you?
That's me.
What are they trying to do, kill you?
Take more than the likes of them to hurt an old desert rattler.
Now let him go. All right, what are you waiting for? Go ahead, shoot.
Don't do it, Len.
Now you drop that gun or I'll break this man's arm.
Do as he says, Len. Why do you want to kill your old brother?
He calls your brother.
That's the only thing that's keeping you alive. I'll make you a deal, mister.
Name it.
Let him go. I won't use this. Otherwise, I'll kill you both.
Drop the gun first.
Do it, Len.
Give you a hand, Hiram?
I don't need no help.
They sure worked you over.
Why? Why? They're after the gold. Want to steal my claim.
Gold claim? What are you talking about?
Here. Loaded with the yellow stuff. I'll show you. The best ore I've seen in 40 years of looking. Yes, sir. Ore that'll make a man's eyes pop right out of his head.
You mean rock, don't you, Hiram?
No, I don't mean no such darn thing. I mean ore.
Now, look, old-timer, everybody knows that these hills were cleaned out over 20 years...
No, wait a minute. That ain't so. It ain't played out. It's just harder to find.
Well, maybe you found something, but you sure...
Gold? I say it's gold. If this here yellow stuff I've got here don't assay out over $1,000, I'll eat mule steak on Sunday.
$1,000?
Yes, and that ain't all. I'll just bet that this vein I found will deliver more gold in 1 year than all they ever took out of California.
All right, Hiram,
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
If anybody deserves getting a strike, you do. You've been looking longer than anybody I know.
Yeah, 45 years, Bent. Yeah, 45 years come winter. I told them people in Clay City that there was still gold in them there mountains. I could smell it. Would they believe me? Ah, they said old Hiram was touched, that his brains was rattling from too much sun. Well, they'll start braying a different song now. Fools. You think that I don't know gold when I see it?
Well, anyone can make a mistake, even an old-timer
It
like...
ain't no mistake, you young fool. This is the real thing.
All right, Hiram,
All right.
You need any help getting to Clay City?
No, I know more shortcuts than you do. I'll be into town before you're into bed. Yes, and you can tell them people in Clay City that Hiram Grover struck it rich.
I'll tell them,
And
Hiram.
see what they say about
I'll
that.
tell them.
Yeah, you just tell them.
Even if I'd felt like telling anyone, I knew no one would believe it. Not any more than I believed it myself. Anyway, the sun was going down when I got to Clay City. It was coming on Saturday night, but after roundup time at the Circle G, all I was thinking about was a feed for Scar and myself and 10 good hours of sleep between clean, cool sheets. Who is it?
Hiram Grover, I gotta talk to you. It's important.
Oh. Come on in, Hiram.
Vint, if the whole world isn't chock full of sidewinders, horn toads, and rattlesnakes.
No, wait, just a minute. What's the matter?
Oh, Enos Wilson is what's the matter?
You mean that man that runs the assay office?
Yeah, he couldn't tell a gold nugget from a tea kettle.
Well, what you mean? He told you that the stuff you brought in isn't any good, is that it?
No, that's the trouble. He didn't say nothing, one way or the other.
Well, then, what are you ranting around about?
You see, by the time I got the burros back into town, it was most 7 o'clock, and Enoch was closing up the assay office.
And it's a very good time for closing. And speaking of closing, Hiram...
I left them 3 sacks of gold with him and told him I wanted to report as soon as possible, and you know what he told me. Said I couldn't get a report till Monday.
Well, isn't that natural, tomorrow being Sunday?
Yeah, that's the same excuse he tried to hand me, the lying skunk.
Hiram, in case you don't know it, Sunday has a habit of coming after Saturday.
Vint, would you listen to me?
Hiram, everybody's been listening to you for years. All the times you've claimed to have struck it rich. If once, just once, you weren't convinced that this was it.
But, Vint, this is it.
Oh, Hiram, not again. Not again.
No, it's gold. It's gold, I tell you, Vint.
Hiram, all right. If it's gold, couldn't you wait till Monday?
Well, I can wait. I've waited for 40 years. But what I don't like is a pack of lies being told.
By the little fellow at the assay.
Yeah. I left my gold with him. Had no choice. Got me a bowl of beef stew at O'Brien's, and then I come back to see about the burros. So I peeked in the window, and there was Enoch sitting at the counter testing my 3 sacks of gold.
All right, so he was testing your gold. That doesn't prove anything.
Oh, don't you see, Vint? He's fixing to take my gold for himself. As soon as he finds out how valuable it is, he'll do some substituting, and I'll wind up with 3 sacks of plain rock when I come in to see him on Monday.
Look, if you're so upset about this, why don't you go to him? Ask him straight out. He's probably got a simple enough explanation.
Well, I'm going to, and that's why I want you to go along.
Go along?
Vint, I need help. I ain't as young as I used to be, and you know what this strike means to me. Now, you don't want to see somebody swindle me out of it, do you?
No, Hiram.
Well, all right. Come on, we ain't got all night.
Well, give me a chance to get on some clothes.
Howdy, Enoch.
There they are. Them's my sacks.
Well, surely your sacks, Hiram.
You see, he ain't even denying it.
You've gone out of your mind, or...
I'll ask the questions, and you'll do the answering from now on, Enoch. And you better not lie in front of Vint Bonner here, either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I thought you said that you couldn't assay this ore until Monday.
Well, what if I did?
Well, it appears like you sort of changed your mind on it.
Vint, would you know what's the matter with him?
Well, yes, I've got a fair idea.
There ain't nothing the matter with me. I can still take care of any skunk that tries to cheat me out of my gold.
What? Who you calling a skunk?
You. And if you ask me, it sure fits.
Why, you dried up little donkey pusher, I can know what you were... Now, wait a minute!
Before one of you old fighting cocks throws your back out of place.
He can't talk to me that way.
I'll talk to you any way I like.
No, you can't, Hiram. Not unless you can prove what you're talking about.
Proof? Why, if I was trying to cheat him, would I have sent word for him to come by and pick up his assay report tomorrow morning?
You sent word?
Ask Mike O'Brien, you old horsehead. Went by the cafe myself looking for you. You'd already left. So I told him if he saw you to give you the message.
You told Mike?
Well, Hiram,
Well, doggone it, Vint, how was I to know?
well, Enoch, I guess he's sorry.
Oh.
What did change your mind? Why did you decide to make your essay tonight instead of Monday?
He's been bringing me samples to assay for more years than I can remember. Usually it's low-grade stuff, too thin with weight and hardness to even bother about. A little better than fool's gold. But this time he seemed more anxious than usual. And then, too, this is definitely more promising. So I figured I'd just get right at it instead of waiting until Monday morning.
Enoch.
What do you want, you old fool?
Enoch. What is it? Is it gold, Enoch? Is it gold?
You think he might have stumbled onto something?
I can't say positively yet. I still got to make a couple of tests. But it looks like maybe it's gold.
Gold? I found it! I found gold! Yippee! I found gold! Yippee! I found gold! I found it!
Evening, gentlemen.
Who are you?
Never mind. Grab some air. All three of you.
Now, see here, you...
You too, old man. I guess you didn't expect to see us again. I just start reaching. I guess this time there'll be no problem killing you. You run this place?
Well, I do the assaying.
And open the safe.
Well, there really ain't nothing.
Never mind, Stolen. Get it open.
That was real nice, lugging this in for us.
You leave that alone, you hear?
Take it easy, Grandpop. Feels real heavy.
That all belongs to me. You got no right to it.
I guess you just don't hear good. I said take it easy.
I spent most of my life looking for that gold, and I... You leave it...
Hiram, let me see.
You saved my gold, Vint.
You better get him to a doctor quick.
Doc Nibble's house is in the next block.
We'll take him there. Grab hold.
How is it, Doctor?
Well, it's too early to tell anything yet. I got the bullet out, but he still isn't out of the woods.
See what you mean.
For a man his age to lose all that blood, it's a very serious thing.
Sure.
I understand you got the thieves, both of them.
You sure did, Doc.
What are his chances, do you think, Doctor?
He's an old man. I've seen fellows a whole lot younger than...
Yeah.
Say, you better get yourself some rest.
Well, I thought maybe we could,
Nothing you can do here. Not a chance of him coming to before morning.
Come on, Vent. Doc will take care of him.
All right, I'll see you in the morning, Doctor. I guess I didn't know how tired a man could get. Anyway, I slept till after 10 the next morning. Or maybe it was because I just didn't like the thought of going to Doc's to find out how Hiram was. I started to head for Doc's anyway. Then I passed the assay office, and though it was Sunday, I saw Enoch in there.
Howdy, Vin.
Morning, Enoch. Well, I see you got the place all straightened up.
Oh, yeah, Sheriff Jay and his deputy took care of that. I was, I just came back from seeing Hiram.
Oh. Is he...
No, but sure don't look good.
It's kind of sad. Just when he seems to have found what he's been looking for all his life.
You know, I couldn't sleep last night after all that fracas, and so I came back here and I finished up all the work on Hiram's samples.
This it?
Yeah.
Looks real rich.
Oh, it's the real thing, all right, no doubt about it.
So the old goat was right.
If there's any more ore as rich as this in those mountains, we'll have a full-scale gold rush right here in Clay City.
Oh, Hiram ought to know about it.
Oh, he knows it.
He does?
Well, I told you that I couldn't sleep. So after I finished up the assay early this morning, I went right back over to Doc's. Well, I thought that Hiram would want to know before...
That was mighty thoughtful of you, Enoch.
It wasn't nothing. I just couldn't sleep, that's all. Oh, Doc says he's got a good, strong constitution for a man of his age. Why, he just hasn't got any fight left. I mean, you know, Vent, he just doesn't care whether he lives or dies.
Well, you had a hard night, Enoch. You probably all tuckered up, too.
Oh, no, Vent. You see, Doc couldn't understand it either. He thought if there was anything that would make Hiram want to live, it would be knowing he'd struck it rich.
Well, you'd think so after he spent most of his life grubbing around those mountains.
Well, the only way we can explain it is that Hiram just don't believe me. Maybe he thinks I'm lying to him because he's so bad off.
Well, he did say he never got an honest assay.
So we thought, the Doc and me, we thought that maybe if he heard it from you.
Yeah, maybe you're right. You know, Enoch, if I ever need a Philadelphia lawyer, I'm going to call on you. Well, Hiram, how's it going?
Fair, Vent, fair, considering.
Well, the doctor says you're going to be real well real soon.
Yeah, he told me.
But you know, doctor can't do it all by himself. You've got to give him some help.
It don't matter. Don't matter at all.
Now, what are you talking about? I figured you'd be jumping up and down in bed, just raring to get going as soon as you heard the news.
You mean about the gold?
Yeah, Enoch here says he told you. Biggest strike ever made around Clay City.
Yeah, he told me.
You believe him, don't you?
Yeah, I believe him. I know it is real stuff first time I found it. Maybe that was the sign.
The sign?
Yeah, Vent. My life's over. 45 years I looked for that yellow stuff. And now that I've found it, it don't leave no reason to keep on looking. No reason at all. Oh, after all those years, I'm tired, Vint. Awful tired.
But Hiram, you're going to be a rich man, a very rich man.
Oh, you think that's why I was hunting for gold? Because it'd make me rich? Well, when I was younger, maybe that was a reason. But lately, in the last few years, I wanted to prove it to folks that I knew what I was talking about, that Hiram Grover wasn't touched in the head like they said.
But Hiram, you know better than to believe anything that people say about you.
So, it won't be so hard to die. It won't be hard at all. I got done what I set out to do. I guess maybe I'm luckier than most men get to be.
Well, that's one way to look at it.
It just goes to show, Vint, that things turn out for the best.
Yeah, sure. Well, I guess Enoch here did the right thing.
What's that?
Oh, nothing. You get some rest.
Now, just a minute, Vint Bonner. What'd you start to tell me about Enoch Wilson doing something? Now, finish it up, what you're going to tell me. Go on.
Hiram, I don't want to get you upset, so you just get some rest.
Great jumping Jehoshaphat. Don't you worry none about me getting upset. I can take care of myself. Now, what was it you're going to tell me?
Well, Hiram, you were so weak and so feeble, you can hardly blame Enoch here for feeling sorry for you.
Feeling sorry for me? Enoch Wilson feeling sorry for me?
Well, anyway, I guess that's the reason he felt he had to tell you that...
You don't mean he was lying to me? That ore that I brought in wasn't full of gold?
No, I didn't say that.
Great balls of fire. Why, you low-down skunk. Of all the low-down double-crossing...
You're a sick man, and you better get...
Sick man, am I? I'll show you how sick I am. So, it wasn't true, huh, about my strike?
Now, Hiram, a man in your condition...
My condition? They thought I was going to die. And then they were all going to have a laugh on me, huh? Well, I just ain't going to be that obliging. No, sir. I'm going to get well if it kills me. I'll do it in spite of people. And tell me about these things. And I'll find gold. Yes, sir, I'll go out and find it in them there mountains where I said I'd find it. Tell you? Yes. Anyway, you're going to soft soap me into kicking the bucket.
Hey, Doc, come here.
Oh! Shut it.
Looks like your patient made a miraculous recovery.
You just tell them, Vint, that if they're thinking anything like that, they'd better start thinking... Oh, drat it. They'd better start thinking different.
Well, sir, by the time Hiram got well and found out he was responsible for a genuine gold rush, there just wasn't much he could do about it. Then the way the money poured in, faster than Hiram could spend it, no matter how hard he tried. Sure went in for some fly-by-night schemes, though. Like organizing a prospecting expedition to go to Alaska, someplace called the Klondike. Now, who'd ever find gold in a place like that? You know, it isn't often out here you find a town thanking its sheriff for something he's done instead of criticizing him for something they think he should have done. That's why when I got word that the folks in Little Beaver were giving my old friend Jebediah Barnes a gold star for 40 years of service to the town, I decided it was something I had to get in on. Howdy, Jim.
Vint Bonner, what the devil brought you to Little Beaver?
Came for the celebration.
Celebration? Seeing the last of me in this territory calls for a celebration, huh? Shake hands with Charlie Craig. He's taking over my old job.
Glad to know you, Charlie.
Howdy, Mr. Bonner. Heard Jeb talk about you lots of times.
Vint, be glad to shake the dust of this town off my boots.
When you leaving?
Got the old wagon hitched up right now. Just a-waiting for me over at Pearson's livery. As soon as the good folks of this town get tired of hearing themselves make speeches and hand me a gold star they claim they're giving me, I'm going to be on my way. What do you think of that, Vint, a gold star?
Oh, I think that's wonderful. Nobody deserves it more, Jeb.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Probably made it out of my own fillings.
Hey, where are you going?
Old Mexico. Got me nephew down there. Well, she's all yours, son. There's your tin badge. Now, you make yourself at home. You won't have long to wait. 40 years is all. Maybe they'll give you a gold star before you're out on your saddlebags. See you over at the celebration.
Be over in a little while.
Come on, Vint. Buy you a drink before all them speeches start.
Just be a farmer.
Good time for you, sir.
Very best, sir. Good luck, sir. Drinking the house of the boy.
What are you doing in here, Jeb?
Just wetting my mouth a little, Mayor. I know you, when you get to wading into one of them speeches of yours, man could perish of thirst before it's over.
Well, maybe we better get started so I can give you that gold star and see the last of you, huh? Well, I'll tell you, just wait a while.
Say, those three men over there, they look familiar, do you know?
Reckon I ought to have sent them all to penitentiary once. They served their time. That one in the middle is Sam Baggett. The other two are his pals. Wingo Jenner and Bill Cowan. Used to be real ornery.
What do you suppose they're doing in town?
Probably don't believe the old Jeb Barnes is going to hang up his gun. Come in to see for themselves. No, I ain't sheriff anymore. Charlie Craig's wearing my tin badge. I'm getting a gold one. Putting me out to graze. Well, them three's Charlie's problems now on.
Now, my friends, if I was to stand up here and start trying to tell you the list of things that Jeb Barnes has done for this town during the 40 years he's been our sheriff, if I was to underline the times he's risked his lives serving us, or if I was to give you item by item of the perils he's undergone, bringing law and order to the frontier, or keeping peace and dignity in this community, or more than likely I'd be up here most of the night doing of it.
You're going to be up there half the night not doing it.
If I didn't pop off once in a while now and then, strangers in town wouldn't know I was the mayor. Well, this isn't a big town. It isn't a rich town. But we got a big heart here in Little Beaver, my friends. But we ain't got a big bank account. And it wouldn't be fitting to let Jeb hang up his holster and walk away from here without some little token of this town's appreciation and gratitude. And so we got together, some of us that is, and we scraped together all the funds we could lay our hands on, legal, that is. And so finally well, where in the name of... I put it up here near my brains, so naturally I forgot all about it. Well, now Now we've had our laughs. Now let's get serious. Pretty thing. I don't reckon it's more than about $7 worth of gold in this here thing, no. But heck, this town could never pay Jeb Barnes for the price of 40 years of service. Now, none of us gonna live forever. And after we're all dead, gone, and forgot, the people who come after us, they're the ones who's going to remember the name of Jebediah Barnes, one of the best men the West will ever see. Well, Jeb, better come on up here before I make a fool of myself and blubber right out in public.
Say, Sheriff, did you notice those men that left here a few moments ago?
Yeah, what about it?
Well, I just saw them going to the bank. Maybe you ought to take a look.
Well, the bank's open for business, Mr. Bonner.
That's right. I'm probably being silly.
There you are. Well, turn it over, Jeb. Read out what it says.
When all our... When all our histories wrote and done, the name of Jeb Barnes will head chapter 1.
I wrote that myself.
Speech! Speech!
Folks, I never been much for making speeches. I never wrote down what I want to say to you. Probably just as well I didn't, on account of I probably wouldn't be able to see what I'd wrote. Doesn't seem like 40 years ago when I rode into Little Beaver. Most of the time these last few years, it doesn't seem like I was ever 40 years younger than I am right now. So after everything's over and done, I just want to say this. When I came to Little Beaver, there was nothing here. I didn't amount to much either. 40 years later, Little Beaver's a city. I'm an old man. Me growing old had anything to do with Little Beaver growing into a city. I guess it's about all one man can do in this life. I don't need any reward for doing it. If I have any reward coming, I guess the good Lord will see that I get it one of these days. Even though I'm not your sheriff anymore, I aim to wear this gold star, even if it's not legal. And anybody that tries to take it off of me...
Help! Three of them came into the bank. Nobody was paying any attention to them. First thing we knew, we was looking down six-shooters and getting tied and gagged.
What'd they get?
$30,000 in gold. They knew just what they was after. I had it all boxed, waiting for the Overland Express.
I'm forming a posse. Any of you men that want to join me, saddle up, get your guns, and go to my office for deputizing. Want to ride with us, Sheriff?
Sheriff, me? I'm just an old goat with a gold star, sonny. Buckboard's about all these old bones can handle. Oh, you go ahead and bring them bank robbers in. Don't ever let me hear you complain you didn't have anything to do the first day on your job.
Suit yourself, but I better get started before they get clean away.
Good luck.
Well, Jeb, it looks like you're about right. They were just waiting for you to resign.
They didn't wait long enough. They could outroad an old codger like me easy. Charlie Craig will have him behind bars before sundown.
Sundown's not far away.
Hey, you're right, Vin. I got about 250 miles of traveling between me and my nephew. Looks like our celebration's over. I better be on my way. If you're ever down Mexico way...
I wouldn't pass you by, Jeb.
I don't like laying around so close to the road.
There's probably a posse heading this way already.
What if there is, Wingo? You got nothing on us a posse would be interested in? We got our gold coming by Pony Express. Right in the spot nobody think of looking for it. Try a little bit more of this coffee.
Figured all right, Mr. Bonner?
I thought I'd move along. I only came in for the ceremony.
Yeah, come to a sore end, too. Bank hold up and all. I sure wish Jeb Barnes would sit at the head of that posse instead of Charlie Craig. Charlie's a good man, but he just don't have Jeb's experience.
Yeah. Any word come back yet?
No, nobody's rode back yet.
Well, still a nice ceremony. You gave a real fine speech. Looked to be 3 sets of prints. No reason to believe they were the bandits' hoof marks. But if they were, it meant they'd double around after leaving town. And that meant that Charlie Craig's posse was riding its head off in the wrong direction.
Darkening down fast.
Yeah, them buckboards move slow.
Supposing he don't come this way at all. Or supposing he drove by and we never heard him.
Suppose you tie a knot in that tongue of yours. Making so much noise we won't hear him when he does come.
Wagon tracks. I thought of Jeb and his buckboard heading down toward Old Mexico. Only these tracks were going north. That meant either it wasn't Jeb, or else Jeb wasn't going to Mexico at all. Or was Jeb on the trail of the bandits? One old man striking out against 3 armed killers. And Charlie Craig's posse halfway to midnight in the other direction.
Here you are. $3,000 for each of you. Well, is the agreement carried out? Is everybody satisfied?
I think everybody's satisfied, Jeb.
Sure. Well, I guess maybe everybody ain't.
You got a problem, Wingo?
Maybe I have.
You got your $3,000, same as you agreed, same as the others.
I know what I got. How much money was in that tin box? It's 30, wasn't it?
That's right.
30. We got 3 each. That makes 9. Leaving 21,000 for himself. We done all the work, and he did all the taking.
Listen, you. You got every penny you signed on to get. If you didn't like your cut, why didn't you say so before we made the deal?
Well, I'm saying it now.
What's that supposed to mean?
Maybe when we were agreeing to your terms, we sort of keeping our fingers crossed, planning to make a different cut later on.
It sure don't sound like a bad idea.
You're not so stupid after all, Wingo. Maybe we ought to have a different cut.
Well, maybe you ought to go whistling your whiskers. You think I'm going to sit around and bargain with you 3 varmints? Don't you try that. You didn't think I could still draw, did you? I knew who I was picking when I picked you 3. I know who's against me now. Now you do as I tell you. Get your stuff and get out of here.
Now, Jeb, don't you be stupid enough to go against 4 guns all aimed at your belly.
I made you a fair bargain. I gave you more money than you'd ever seen in your lives.
And you kept more than we've ever seen either.
I did all the figuring. Did all the planning.
We did all the taking.
We ain't through yet. You know, we asked you for a different divvy, and you turned us down. You know what that's going to cost you, don't you, Jeb? $21,000.
You're going to take it all?
That's right.
You can't do that.
You're going to see us do it, right in front of your eyes. Wingo, go out in the buckboard, bring that box in.
Now listen, I didn't tell you this, but I wrote up all about planning this robbery and about hiring you to help me. I sealed it in an envelope and put it safe in my office.
You did nothing of the kind. You're lying.
True.
You know, you don't want the folks in Little Beaver to find out their respected sheriff is nothing but a common thief. And what if you did write it out, put it in the safe? Nobody's going to open it. On account of nobody's ever going to know anything ever happened to you.
Got it. Praise, all of you.
I trailed him here, Vint. Picked up the tracks about 2 miles down the road. They got the drop on me when I went for him.
I'm sorrier than I can say, Jeb. I've been back there quite a while. I heard a lot. Now drop the guns, all of you. Don't touch the gun, Jeb.
3-1 against you, Vint. You'll need help.
Till I know better, there's 4-1.
I wouldn't do anything to harm you, Vint.
Come on over here.
Look behind you! That one did it, Red. That one did the job.
I got some water, Jeb.
Don't waste it. Spent 40 years protecting them.
driving the rustlers off their ranges, fighting the Indians that tried to burn their houses, protecting them while they made themselves rich.
That was your job.
I did my job. I was paid a sheriff's salary. While they was getting rich, I had to save up to buy a new pair of boots. Then when it was over, time to retire. So long, Jeb. Thanks, Jeb. Here's a gold star, Jeb. Now you run along. You run along off someplace and die, while we look around for somebody else to take care of us while we're making money. All I wanted, Vint, was something to live on while I was dying. I didn't have nobody.
What about your nephew down in Old Mexico?
Ain't got no nephew. Ain't got nobody. I got a gold star. Try eating a gold star. I know I did wrong, Vint. I know I was wrong.
Daggett had me in his sights. You could let him kill me and gotten clean away with the gold.
I guess when you're wearing any kind of a star, you can't kill your friends.
And the gold. How did it happen, Mr. Bonner?
Mr. Mayor, Jeb spent 40 years earning that gold star. Today he earned it all over again.
And old Jeb tracked him down?
He got your gold. He got himself killed doing it. Didn't seem to be any point in telling them what really happened. It wouldn't help them. And it wouldn't help Jeb. But riding out of Little Beaver that evening, I got to thinking. Nobody really thanks a sheriff for all the things he does.
To die.
My lord Othello, have mercy on me.
Mercy dost thou say?
Oh, please, my lord. I never did offend thee in my life.
You're offending us, lady.
O perjured woman, thou art on thy deathbed. Take heed.
Oh, banish me, my lord, but kill me not.
Down.
Oh, kill me tomorrow, but let me live tonight.
For Pete's sake, kill her tonight. Get it over with.
Nay, if you strive.
But half an hour.
Holy mackerel, we got to listen to this for another half hour? Come on, fella, put her out of her misery. What about our misery?
Ladies and gentlemen, it appears our thespian efforts have not met with your approval.
Appears? Mister, you sure take a lot of convincing.
My company and I have paid before all the crowned heads of Europe. We thought that you would welcome this opportunity to hear the immortal works of the Bard of Avon. We were mistaken. To err is human, to forgive divine. I forgive you. The performance is concluded. Good night.
Well, what about the money we paid? Do we get it back? Yeah, how about it? Either you finish that acting up there or give us back our money.
This ultimatum is outrageous. I reject it flatly.
Just you stay there, mister.
Please, please, there are ladies present. Someone might get injured.
Are you going to go on with the show or ain't you? Well?
The performance will continue.
That's more like it.
Under protest, sir, under severe protest.
Virtue City had been making strides. Even had the railroad coming in. In fact, that's why I was in town, to meet the train and pick up some spare parts for the pump at the Round Y. Train wasn't due, though, till next day, so I headed for the hotel to see about a room. Classical plays of Master William Shakespeare, as interpreted by the world-famous Dramer Company, headed by the distinguished T.H.E. The Spion. That must be further away in Alaska. Mr. Archibald Plunkety. Hi, mister.
Oh, sorry, mister. Didn't know you were there.
Well, you know I'm here now.
Yeah, I just got myself some new views, and I was sort of anxious to see what they look like.
Views?
Yeah, from a stereoscope.
Stereo which?
Here, let me show you. Let's see here. Let me find one here. Oh, yeah. Here's one. Niagara Falls. Have a look at that one.
Well, I'll be doggone. Looks like the water's coming right at you.
Yeah.
These spions and stereoscopes. The world's just moving too fast.
My key, if you please.
Oh, why, sure, Mr. Plunkett. Coming right up.
Plunkett, if you please.
Here it is, Mr. Plunkett.
You may as well have my bill ready. We're checking out this afternoon.
This afternoon? Well, I thought you had another show to do tonight.
Performance has been cancelled.
Oh.
Arch.
I beg your pardon, sir.
Well, wait a second. Don't you remember me?
You seem to have the advantage of me, sir. I don't think we've... Bonner! Vint Bonner!
Sir, what are you doing in Virtue City? I haven't seen you
Since our triumphal tour of Texas, wasn't it, Vint?
Well, triumphal tour of...
Yes, when we were the guests of the governor. My company and I, don't you remember? He insisted we stay at the executive mansion. Come along, Vint.
Oh, come now.
Oh, I'll never forget the warmth of that reception. The people of Texas had a true appreciation of the art of the drama. Not like some of our more recent audiences, I dare say.
What are you
Come along,
talking
Vint.
about, audience?
Join us in the spot of tea. I'm sure Marguerite would be so delighted
Marguerite
to see you.
who?
My lovely wife. Don't tell me you've forgotten her.
Well, whatever happened
We've
to
taken
Maggie?
the presidential suite, of course. Now, just follow me, old boy.
Well, look, I've got to get me a room here, Arch.
Nonsense. The clerk there will take care of all such trivial details. Let's come along, old boy. Come along. Come along, my dear. Vint, enter.
Arch, what in the world happened to your voice?
All in good time, my good friend. All in good time. Phew. That was close.
What do you mean, close?
Maggie.
That you are?
Yes, my dear. I brought someone with me.
Oh, I will be there in a moment, Chérie. I have been, how you say, taking a little bath to soothe the nerves. Oh, that horrible, horrible audience. Never will I.
Well, Maggie.
Oh,
How are you?
why, you son of a gun. Where did you come from?
Downstairs in the lobby. Had to bring him up here before we spilled the beans.
Oh, that's right. You didn't know we were in the profession, did you, Vint?
The profession?
Show business, my dear Vint. Show business. Maggie and I are now actors, or thespians, if that sounds any better.
Oh, that's what that word means.
Permit me to introduce myself. Archibald Plunkett, native London, Paris, and New York. For one uneasy moment, Virtue City.
Archibald Plunkett.
Well, I couldn't go on calling myself Archie Plunker once I started acting.
No, I guess not.
This charming young lady is my wife, toast of the continent, Madame de la Seine.
Enchanté, monsieur.
You had to change your name, too, huh?
No, just fancied it up a speck. I used to be Maggie Rivers before I married Arch. And we looked on a map and there's a French river called the Seine, so?
Well, last time I saw you folks, you had a ranch outside San Antone. How did you get into this?
Sit down, Vint. Might as well get comfortable.
Sure.
You know, Arch never was much good at ranching. Always hated to stay in one place. And when the drought hit, well, we were wiped out.
About that time, the Doc Riley came along with his medicine show. You remember the Doc, Vint?
Oh, I remember his medicine, too. Proofed about 120.
Well, here, try some of this. The same prescription.
Well, you remember Doc's guitar player ran off with that gal who used to do the singing for him. The one with the yellow tights.
I remember the yellow tights.
So the Doc needed someone to take their place, and Maggie here always had a sweet sounding singing voice, and seeing as how we was broke.
Doggone tights never did fit me.
Well, you're not still with the medicine show.
We sure ain't. Maggie and I started out on our own. We're now doing serious acting. The plays of William Shakespeare, the Bard of Avon.
Bard of who?
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them.
He used to be only a cowboy.
To die, to sleep.
Archie?
That's Hamlet.
They're mighty fancy, high-sounding words.
Oh, wait till you hear the rest of them. Finest writer ever lived. As a matter of fact, I was going to appear as a melancholy Dane this evening, but circumstances have compelled Maggie and me to abandon the production.
Oh, that's too bad. What kind of circumstances?
Well, there was a little trouble during our performance of Othello last night. You know, that's another play by the same fella, Shakespeare.
They didn't like the show?
When they began shooting up at the ceiling, that was the impression we got.
Oh, they shouldn't have done that.
Now, you know, I couldn't agree with you more completely. Anyway, we're moving on to Rocky Falls. I hope the people there will have a little more...
Who on earth?
Hey, Ben, you ain't gonna say nothing, you? I mean, about our being from Texas. You ain't gonna give us away.
Oh, no.
Your pardon for my intrusion, sir, but do I have the pleasure of addressing Mr. Archibald Plunkett, the actor?
Your humble servant, sir.
Delighted to meet you, Mr. Plunkett. I'm spending the day in Virtue City, and I saw a theatrical poster advertising the performance of one of my favorite plays, Hamlet. Unfortunately, when I went to buy tickets, I discovered that you and your company are not appearing tonight.
Oh, yes, the change in our schedule. We had to cancel the performance. You see, we have so many engagements, we're not able to fill them all.
I understand, Mr. Plunkett, the vagaries of show business. I myself am in the theater.
Indeed?
Yes, permit me. My card. I'm sorry I won't have an opportunity to witness the performance. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Madam?
Good afternoon, sir.
That faker. I'll bet he's no more in show business than you are, Vint. He probably thought we'd give him a couple of free passes.
Oh.
Arch, what's the matter?
No, it ain't possible. I'm seeing things. Ben! Look. What does it write? The name on the card. What does it say?
It says P.T. Barnum.
Oh!
Real clear, too. It's print. What's the matter with you two? You got the milk sickness or something?
Let me see that card, Vint. Oh, I thought maybe you didn't know how to read.
Look, what's the matter with you two people anyway?
Do you know who P.T. Barnum is?
He said he was in show business.
In show business? He is show business. Jenny Lynn, General Tom Thumb, half the artists of America owe their careers to him.
And if he'd liked us, there's no telling what would have happened. He might have hired us for one of his own productions.
The chance of a lifetime to perform before P.T. Barnum.
Arch. Maybe it isn't too late.
Oh, Maggie, the performance is canceled.
Then we'll uncancel it. Now, you get over to that opera house or whatever they call it and make sure they don't rent it out to somebody else.
What are we going to do for an audience?
Give some passes to the kids. Tell them to spread them around. But hurry up and get going.
Maggie, all right.
Vince, you've got to find Mr. Barnum.
Well, I don't know,
He must be
Mr. Barnum.
staying in the hotel. The clerk will give you his room number.
I'm not going to
Now,
walk
you
to the
tell
man's
him
room.
that we've rearranged our schedule.
Come in.
Mr. Barnum?
Yes, you wish to see me?
Yes, sir. My name's Vic Bonner, sir.
Well, come in, Mr. Bonner. What can I do for you? My best, please.
Well, yes, sir. Well, my friends, the Plunketts, asked me to come by and see you, sir.
The Plunketts? Oh, yes, they're the thespians.
Yeah, them. They have changed their mind, and they're going to stay over tonight and give a show.
Oh, are they? Hamlet?
That one.
My coat.
Anyway, they're going to save a box seat just for you.
Well, that's very considerate. I'll appreciate it. Are you a member of the company?
Am I what?
I say, are you one of the performers I'm going to have the pleasure of seeing tonight?
Oh, no, sir. I'm just a friend.
I see. The collar, please.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's nice of you to deliver the message.
Thank you. That be all, sir?
Yes.
Well, I didn't see any more of Arch and Maggie that afternoon. I figured they had plenty to do to keep them busy. Acting's just about like anything else, I guess. There must be a certain amount of work to it. Anyway, about 5 o'clock, I was up in my room putting on a clean shirt and getting fixed up to go to the theater and see what this fella Hamlet was really like.
Hello, Vince.
Hello, Arch. Maggie? What's the matter?
We was born under our lucky star, I guess.
Well, couldn't you get the Opera House, or what do they call it?
Oh, it's available, all right. That ain't it.
Well, I thought what you wanted was to get a chance to act in front of Mr. Barnum.
Not just for him to see us, but to like us, to appreciate our talent.
If only I'd stopped to think.
Oh, I don't blame you, Maggie. I blame myself. I should have known the idea of us giving another performance was out of the question. Here I got all those boys running all over town.
Maybe we could catch an early train and sneak out of town before anybody knows.
Yep. Like the Arabs. Fold our tents and silently steal away into the night.
Now, what are you two bellyaching like a couple of stuck hogs for? You're actors, aren't you? You're thespians? Well, thesp. You got an opera house, you got Mr. Barnum to come to see you, and you got an audience.
That's it, the audience.
Well, you do have to have an audience, don't you?
But they'd be the same folks who came last night.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Oh, they start howling and making fun of us and maybe start shooting again. It'd be another disaster.
And Mr. Barnum would think we were a couple of clowns.
Yeah, the worst actors he ever seen.
Oh, I see.
And he'd never hire us. Never. You can see that, can't you, Vince?
Oh. There must be something we could do. Maybe we should talk to the sheriff. He might help.
I already seen him.
What'd he say?
He said if we ain't any better than we was last night, he's going to advise the boys not to aim at the ceiling.
Well, I'm sure sorry. I'd like to have helped you folks.
Do you really wish you could help us, Vince?
Well, sure, if I could.
With the play, I mean.
With the play?
Well, as a matter of fact, my dear chap, we did think of one possible solution.
Like what?
Well, you see, it sort of involves you in a way.
Well, you'd be practically saving of our lives if you did it, Vint.
Now, stand still, Vince, and let Arch explain it to you.
What?
Well, maybe you ought to do the explaining, Maggie.
Now, Arch, do you want me to start remembering about you and that gal in the yellow tights?
Look, I don't care about that. What?
No, but we were thinking, well, you won't say no before you hear me out.
Well, I haven't heard anything yet.
Well, we was thinking that, well, everybody in town knows all about Vint Bonner. We can get Vint Bonner on the stage with us.
No.
Well, now, George, you just walk out.
Now, listen, no.
You put the play like this.
Listen to me. No,
then you leave your hand in
I don't care about
circular motion
no.
like this.
Look,
then you move your hand.
Look, let loose of me, Maggie.
You make it kind of...
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight, we drink from the springs of culture.
If you don't mind, friend, I'd rather drink from this.
Tonight, we drink from the springs of culture.
Hey, you better stay where you are. Don't you know who that is? I don't give a consarn who it is. Well, that's Vint Bonner, you darn fool. You better keep your gun in your holster.
So, shut up and sit down and listen. That
Hamlet.
Hamlet. Prince of Denmark, had been attending the University of
Wittenberg.
Wittenberg. The news of his father's death calls him home. When he arrives home at the castle of Elsinore.
Then Hamlet found out that his mother, Queen Gertrude, had married his dead father's brother. Hamlet's own uncle, Claudia.
Claudia, yeah, that's right.
Well, I know that's right.
Thank you.
That's all right, son. You go right ahead. Go ahead. Go.
The ghost of his father then appears to Hamlet and tells him he was murdered by Claudius, who desired his brother's kingdom.
And his brother's wife, too.
And his brother's wife. Yeah, that's what it says.
Get off.
Oh, yeah, get off. Get off.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw and resolve itself into a dew. Oh, that the everlasting had not fixed his canon gainst self-slaughter, that it should come to this, but 2 months dead, nay, not so much, not 2. So excellent a king, that was through this, Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother, that he might not beteem the wines of heaven, visit her face too roughly, heavens and earth. Must I remember why she would hang on him, as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on, and yet within a month, let me not think on it. Frailty, thy name is woman. A little month, ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married. Oh, most wicked speed, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good, but break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Vent, your cue.
Come on.
That's my cue. That's my cue. Hail to your lordship.
I am glad to see you well, Horatio. What make you from Wittenberg?
A truant disposition. A truant disposition.
I would not hear your enemy say so, nor shall you do mine ear that violence to make her truster of your own report against yourself. I know you are no truant. But what is your affair in Elsinore? We'll teach you to drink deep ere you depart. Do not tell me you came to see my father's funeral. Oh, do not mock me. I think it was to see my mother's wedding. Indeed, it followed hard upon. Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meat still coldly furnished forth the marriage tables. Would I met my dearest foe in heaven ever I'd seen that day, Horatio. Alas, alas, alas. Curtain.
Oh, woe is me now, Cracks. A noble heart. Good night, sweet prince.
Lights of angels, sing thee to thy friend.
thy rest. Flights of angels sing thee to thy rest.
Flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. Curtain, curtain. Hail to your lordship. Hey, when do we start?
It's all over.
It's over.
Oh,
It's
and you
over.
were just wonderful.
I feel sick.
Well, that happens to everybody the first time they go on.
Oh, Vin, I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't helped us.
I feel very sick.
Did you see? He stayed all the way to the end. Mr. Barnum did. All the way through to the end. Vin, you were wonderful.
Good.
Do you think you'll come backstage?
I don't know, Maggie. I don't know.
Hey, let's get out of this thing. I gotta get out.
Come in.
Good evening.
Why, Mr. Barnum.
I felt I had to stop by and tell you how much I enjoyed your performance tonight.
We're most honored, Mr. Barnum.
I thought it was exceptional, especially under the circumstances.
Oh, you're most kind.
Oh, not at all, ma'am. And you there, Mr. Bonner.
Oh, yeah.
You told me you were no actor.
Oh, he was just filling in.
Well, I realized he wasn't up in the part, but the way that audience quieted down when he walked on. Absolutely amazing. Never saw anything like it before in my life. Such stage presence, and especially coming from an amateur. By the way, if you're ever seriously interested in a career in the theater, I'd be most happy to do anything.
Me? Oh, me? No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. Hail to your Lord. Goodbye. Thank you. No.
Well, sir, I got out of that theater just as fast as my legs would carry me. I don't see how anybody could set out to be an actor. All those people staring at you and the sweat running down the back of your neck. Holy smoke. Worse than any gunfight I was ever in. Of course, that applause, well, after it was over, that applause did sound kind of good. Suppose a man could get used to play acting if he had to. But I'm sure lucky I don't have to. I was coming back from the spring roundup at the Long T. 40 days with the sound of stray calves bleating for their maws and their same maws bawling and bellowing back. Nights of using your back for a mattress and your belly for a blanket and nothing but chuck wagon grub. I was headed for San Simon where Laura and Newt Bascom had promised me a civilized meal when I got back. Fried chicken, fresh vegetables, chokeberry pie with meringue. You know, I was beginning to feel kind of desperate to get there.
Howdy, Miss Bascom. Can I be of any help?
Well, look who we got here. Sure is good to see you, Vin.
Good to see you, too. Still trying to make things grow, I see.
Still at it. Doesn't look like the roundup took anything out of you.
Well, it didn't put anything back into me either. Don't tell me you forgot. You said fried chicken and all the fixings, remember? Something wrong, Mrs. Bascom?
You're always welcome at our table, Vin. You know that. But I'm afraid the change that's come over Newt wouldn't make it very pleasant for you.
Change?
He's not the same man.
What happened to him?
Paul, our son, went to Silver City on some business for his father. A month ago. He was killed in the streets by a brawling cowboy on a spree. It was an accident. A stray bullet.
I wish I knew what to say, ma'am.
Out here, you've struggled to make something take roots and grow. The land's against you. It's wind and drought, floods. But worst of all, I think, is the evil men do. So maybe when you're in San Simon again, Vin, you'll drop by. Next time, Vin, the Lord willing, he'll be himself by then.
He's the only law we got hereabouts. No sheriff, no judge. Just knowing that should be medicine enough for a man like him. place in town that served food, if you could call it that, was the Lucky Dollar Saloon. That steak was pure discouraging, and the coffee was almost killing.
That was a good one.
Come on, give us another one, will you? Come on, Dad. We got another
Wait a minute. What's the matter with you, boy? Don't you know how to laugh?
I wasn't minding you, mister.
Well, maybe it's about time you did. Now, come on, let me hear you laugh.
Brother Todd's talking to you, Sonny. When one of us cottermans pays a compliment like that, folks always shows proper respect.
Go on, Todd, make him laugh. Let's hear him laugh. I'm waiting, boy. Come on now, let me hear you laugh.
Mister, the biggest joke in this place is you. You're a real clown. And running you a close second is them two comical brothers of yours. I could just busy my sides laughing at all of you. But I'm not horning for trouble.
I'll show you who's a clown.
Hold it, Ben.
You stay out of this, Bonner.
Ben, Todd's dead.
Hand me the gun, real easy. He asked for it.
That ain't the way I look at it.
Me neither.
We'll get that kid. We'll run him down. Sooner or later, we're gonna find him.
Maybe so, but right now we're going over to Newt Bascom's.
That law wrangler ain't no marshal. He's got nothing to say about it.
Do as I say. Move along.
Anything I can do, Ben? I'm beholden to you, Adam. We'll see. All right, I'm ready. Let's go. I want to get this over with fast. Because me and Cyril got things to do.
What'd you expect me to do, Vint? You know there's no such thing as law in San Simon.
Haven't you let your thinking get a little bit twisted, Mr. Bascom?
Just stating a fact.
That's a fact you never accepted before. You've always tried to point the way till the law did come.
I was a fool.
You're wasting my time.
Even in towns where they've got a marshal or a sheriff, the law is a mockery. Didn't keep my boy from being shot down. Never brought his killer to justice.
All this talk's letting that kid get a big jump on us.
We're forming a posse and going after that boy. You hear, Ben?
Yeah, that's fine with me. I just want to get near him, that's all. We'll leave from the Lucky Dollar. Just don't take too long about it.
You'll excuse me.
Newt, maybe a little time before I get back.
Get back? What are you saying?
Look, Ben and Cyril Cotterman don't mean to take that boy alive. Somebody should be there to stand for the law, whether he wears a badge or not.
Well, Laura?
I'm going with the posse.
You're shaming me into going. Is that it?
I'm doing what I think is best. The way you thought once.
You're letting a young saddle tramp come between us.
Someone you never even saw. You know that if you go, I'll have to go.
I'm sorry, Newt. I want to thank you, Vin, for bringing Ben Cotterman over here. You didn't have to mix in. This isn't your town.
It's not going to be any cinch bringing that boy back. He'll head for the Vaca Negras. It'll be tough going.
I've got to do it, Vin. For his sake. I'm praying it'll make him see things right again.
I'll get the horses ready. We'll be ready when you are.
We?
I don't have a town, ma'am. And maybe that's all wrong. Maybe everyone should have a place they'd like to see take root and grow right.
Trying to cover his trail, counting on making the Vaca Negras and losing himself. Young fool, probably never even stopped for water. Idiot.
Young drifter, you know the kind. Mostly nameless.
Nameless?
Yeah, they call themselves Curly or Sandy, maybe Slim. Get their education in bunkhouse brawls and barroom fights. And they think they have to use their gun just to stay alive.
Ain't you trying awful hard to make him sound like an altar boy, Bonner?
All I know is he did all he could not to be pushed into a shootout.
Looks snake mean to me. I sure hope I'm right.
What made you so bloodthirsty, Sam?
You got me all wrong, Bonner. Only, I'm a peaceful soul. Truly, here doing my citizen's duty just like you. And freely, wouldn't be no fun hunting a rabbity boy. No spice in it.
Try to get some sleep, Newt.
Yeah, let's all get some sleep.
Third day in the saddle. About the only riding I'd ever seen her do before was in a buckboard. I wondered what kept her going. Newt Bascom must have been wondering about it too. Wondering how he could live with a woman for 25 years and not know how strong she could be.
You sure that boy's worth all this?
Suppose somebody asked that about our son. When he was all alone in Silver City and got caught up in something he couldn't help and then had to run.
Laura, maybe you were right in shaming me into coming along.
Ben Carterman wasn't wondering about a thing. He was just like an animal close to the kill.
Sport, don't let him fool you. Yeah, there's no use riding you into the ground. You aren't the one that had words with that loudmouth?
He ain't got a chance now. He can't make it on foot. He's up ahead there like a yeller dog with his tail between his legs.
Would you have done that, Ben? Leave your horse and go on foot with a posse on your trail so as not to ride him to death?
Let's go.
He's forted up so no one can get behind him.
That boy sure can shoot. It ain't going to be easy.
As long as he thinks he's going to be lynched, there's going to be more bloodshed.
Vid, what are you going to do?
Try and talk to him.
That's far enough, mister.
I want to talk to you, son.
Go ahead and make it quick.
I can promise you a fair trial with a judge from Tucson.
You ain't no marshal. What's it to you?
There's two fine people down there that would like to see things done the right way, the lawful way. I like the way you handle yourself back at the Silver Dollar. And I like the way you went off alone in the desert, gave your horse a chance.
Well, that's the way it is. I'm sticking it out.
All right, if that's the way you want it. But remember, you're either on the side of the law or you're all by your lonesome. I had a feeling you understood that.
Wait.
Yeah?
You and the ones that want to go on back to San Simon. Just leave me a horse. You can pick mine up on the way back. I'll be along.
Have I got your word on that?
On my word, if I'm still alive. You know as well as I do that them Cottomans ain't gonna budge.
All right. See you later.
We come here to get him, and we ain't leaving till he's got you, hear?
The manhunt's over, Ben. Whoever wants to stay can. I'm taking the kid's word.
If that's what you think, Vint.
That's what I think.
Well, I didn't take him. Low-crawling dirt, all of you.
Don't just sit there. You got a gun, use it. You've been crowding me, mister. You and your brothers have been crowding me too far. Now go ahead and shoot.
Please don't shoot me. Don't shoot me.
You handled yourself real good.
You don't keep your word very good, Mr. Bonner.
I thought you might need help. See, I was wrong. Jason here's gonna need to be put up someplace while you're waiting for that circuit judge from Tucson. After all, you haven't even got a jail.
We've got a place in our house. It needs filling.
Yes.
Town's not bad. Sometimes things happen, that's all. Guess I just couldn't sit around and watch another innocent boy get killed.
Is that all right with you, ma'am?
I'd like that real well.
Like you said, Vince, I guess I let my thinking get twisted.
Well, the boy had a home, and the home had a boy. Being alone in this big, empty land has a kind of terror to it. But it all stops the moment you belong to someone, or someone belongs to you.
pound on my porch like that, Vince Bonner's liable to fall down. It's that rickety. What you doing in these parts?
Well, right now I'm looking for a tall glass of cold buttermilk.
You come to the right place. But don't let that critter of yours get in my flowers.
Oh, they're pretty. I don't think a herd of buffalo could get in your flowers.
Well, things do get in there. That's nice and cold. I just brought it up from the spring house.
That was good.
Want some more? There's plenty more.
No, that'll do for now. If I can get some supper later.
Sure. Can you stand fried chicken and hot biscuits and butter and rice pudding?
You know, if I force myself real hard, I just might manage to choke it down.
And you better try real hard. You know, last time you ate here, you left a whole $50 under your plate. And you know I never charge more than 2 bits for supper.
Now, Osa, one of your suppers is worth 4 bits of any man's money, anytime, anywhere. You know it. I'm going down the creek and get washed up.
While you're down there, see if you can round up that old brindle muley cow of mine, will you?
She jumped that 6-foot fence?
Yeah, there ain't a fence built that can keep that critter. You know, sometimes I think she's crossed with a jackrabbit or one of them canny-garoos.
I'll bring her back.
Whoa.
Well, Mr. Marcus, you're ahead of schedule this trip.
2 days, to be exact, Mrs. Carpenter. Hey, you're looking fine.
I'm feeling fine, and you?
Fine. And that reminds me, I've got something to show you that's fine. Extra fine.
My, it's beautiful. What kind is it, Mr. Marcus?
It's a new kind by the name of American Beauty.
American Beauty?
Makes roses as big as a teacup. Solid red.
A teacup?
Maybe not such a big teacup, but big enough. My future mother-in-law's got one blooming in Dallas already. And the smell? It's like angels breathing down your nose.
How much would it be, Mr. Marcus?
For anyone else, 50 cents. For you, only 35 cents. All the way from Baltimore, Maryland. Imported.
Well, I guess I better wait till next time. I'm short of so many staples that this is no time to be throwing money away on fancies.
All right. Maybe next time.
I'll need 20 pounds of sugar.
20 pounds sugar?
Oh, I'll give you the list later. I got it all set down. You're staying for supper.
I wouldn't eat any place else. If Rector's was next door and I was a millionaire.
Oh! Well, howdy, Duke.
Howdy, Osa. You got any buttermilk?
Plenty down at the spring house.
Well, we can drink a barrel full. Been spitting cotton all day.
Well, from the looks of you haven't been drinking buttermilk all day.
Oh, no, Osa. We ain't drunk. We just been celebrating. A man don't sell 500 head of prime steer every day.
Did you get a good price?
Top of the market. Got the dinero right here to prove it. Enough to buy and sell this whole outfit twice over.
My outfit ain't for sale.
Who are you?
I'm David Marcus, merchant.
Merchant? You mean peddler, don't you?
He looks more like a dancer than a peddler, dude. Yeah, start dancing.
I don't want any trouble with you, mister.
Dance.
Oh, I can't fight no woman. But I'll remember you, peddler.
Don't hurt a bit. It's fine.
No thanks to Duke Ballinger. Could have smashed the bone for all of him. He's no good, and his pappy was no good before him. They're a mean breed, them Ballingers.
And on account of me, I brought trouble on you, Mrs. Carpenter. I don't like it.
You won't bother me. It's you you'll take out after.
So I won't stop at this ranch.
But the road takes you right past it.
It's the only road to San Angelo.
Well, you could go round by way of Brazos City.
I've got customers on the San Angelo Road. They're depending on me. I've got merchandise they ordered already. I couldn't disappoint my customers.
Mr. Marcus, the peddler. You know him?
Well, I saw him at the barn. He was currying those horses down like he's getting ready to drive a funeral wagon.
Don't talk like that. It's bad luck.
Something wrong?
Duke Ballinger and his men were by here today.
Uh-oh.
They'd sold some stock down at the railhead and stopped by to get some buttermilk to cool their thirst.
With that red eye that Duke drinks, he needs something to cool him off.
Well, when I went to get the buttermilk, Duke started picking on Mr. Marcus, started shooting at his feet, trying to make him dance.
Yeah?
I lost my temper and threw the buttermilk all over Duke.
Good for you.
Yeah, but bad for Mr. Marcus. Duke will take it out on him. Said so when he rode off.
What do you want me to do for Mr. Marcus?
I want you to ride herd on him for a couple of days, till you get past Duke's place. Duke won't do nothing to him with you along.
I can do that. Be glad to.
It's my fault for losing my temper.
Now, what's up?
I can pay for my mistakes.
Now, look, I'm not going to take money for a thing like this.
Don't argue with me, Vint Bonner. Those are wages. I'm going to call Mr. Marcus now. He'll carry that team all night if I don't. And don't let on to Mr. Marcus about this. He's a right proud man.
Oh, I wouldn't let him know. I'll just tell him I'm going the same way as he is, and my horse is saddle galled so I can sit up in the wagon with him.
Well, I reckon the Lord will forgive you for that kind of lie. And anyhow, Mr. Marcus will be good company for you. He's a nicely mannered man.
I've been saving every penny for over 8 years already. Now, this trip makes the final amount for the store I'm going to buy in Dallas. So, it's not a very big store. So it can grow. Dallas can grow.
That's a pretty big town now. Last time I was there, they said they had 4,000 people.
That must have been 3 or 4 years ago, Mr. Bonner. Today we've got, nearly 6,000 people.
6,000 people.
I probably won't live to see it, naturally, but my children, if I get any, or my grandchildren, if my children get any, will probably live to see the day when Dallas can have a population of 25,000 people.
25,000 people? That's just plain silly.
All right. It'll happen.
25,000 people. You know something, Mr. Marcus? Traveling with you's been kind of an education to me.
The pleasure is mine. I'm happy to have the company. It's a lonesome business.
What I mean is I never realized how important a merchant.
Don't be embarrassed to say peddler. I'm proud to be a peddler. A peddler today, tomorrow a merchant. Next year, my sister's son, Samuel, takes over the route. He's made lots of trips with me.
Well, it's good that the route will be kept up.
Not only will it be kept up, I'm planning to put out more wagons. The opportunity is unlimited the way my sisters have nephews.
I guess every man's always thought of getting married and settling down.
Someday you'll meet a girl like my Sarah. She'll do that thinking for you.
Maybe that's why I keep roving.
You hear that coyote out there? Well, he's free, but he's lonesome. And he's talking to the moon about hunger and lady coyotes. Mostly, I think, about lady coyotes. I'll show you something. They like fiddle music. You hear? They like the way I play.
That's a mighty fine instrument.
Has a sweet voice. Came down to me from my grandfather.
What are you doing?
I was going to put some salve on your horse's saddle gall. But look, that's not a scab. It's egg yolk.
I wonder how that happened.
So you would have an excuse to ride with me and protect me from Bellinger? It was Mrs. Carpenter's idea, So did she pay you for the job?
Well, I put the money back in a tin can. I was coming this way anyway.
That poor woman couldn't afford 35 cents for a rose bush, yet she pays someone to protect me.
She's a fine woman.
Yeah. And you're a fine man, Mr. Bonner. But there's a little mistake you and the lady both are making. I've got to drive my wagons past Duke Bellinger's ranch by myself. Alone.
Why?
So he'll know I'm not afraid of him. Which I am. But he won't ever know it. It's a public road, Mr. Bonner. I must use it as I would any other public road. You understand?
I understand, but a man like Duke Ballinger won't understand. The only thing he knows is force. I think you better let me go along.
Don't worry. And I want to thank you for everything.
We'll meet again sometime.
It will always be a pleasure, I assure you.
Sure picked a fine time to go lame on me. Now I gotta catch that wagon on foot, if I can.
He's going to ride right on by without stopping to pass the time of day.
Why, that ain't polite. Get down, Mr. Peddler, and show us your wares.
If you want to buy something, I'll show it to you.
All right, do that.
What did you wish to see?
Let's see what you got.
Yeah, let's see.
You got any whiskey?
No, I don't carry it.
Coming around here without no drinking liquor? You're wasting my time.
Please, that's not for sale. That's for a wedding gown for a customer of mine, please. Please, mister, don't. That's for a young girl for her wedding gown. Please. Been waiting for it. Please.
This peddler's on the feisty side, boys. He's nervous. Take him over and tie him up to the chute.
Interested in an elegant wash pan?
No, can't you see? It's got a hole in it.
Yeah. Hey, peddler, ain't you got no shame trying to sell us a pan with a hole in it? Yeah.
Wow. Here's something that the peddler's worried about.
Please. Mister, please.
Why, look, he's begging me. He wants me to play for him.
I am begging you. Put it back in the case. I'll pay you, please.
Oh, now my feelings are hurt. He don't want me to play for him. So I'll play anyhow. Why, everything he's got falls apart. Here.
Hey, Duke.
Well, if it ain't Vint Bonner. Just having a little fun with this here peddler. What are you doing in these parts?
I'm working for that peddler.
Wait a minute, Vint. We ain't gonna draw against you.
Then drop your guns. All of you. In the mud. Spoke. Stamp them in. Untie him. You all right, Mr. Marcus?
Yes, I'm all right.
I understand you made some money on a cattle deal. Let's have it. How much were those things worth, Mr. Marcus?
$10 or $11.
Here's 100. And 500 for the violin.
You're the man with a gun. Do you think you could make it stick without it?
I think so. Watch those two, Mr. Marcus.
Don't move. You stay there.
Wouldn't have happened if my horse hadn't pulled up lame.
So I made you lame a good horse.
It's not that bad. It's just a little strain. He'll be all right soon.
But all that money, I can't keep all that money for myself, Mr. Bonner. It wouldn't be right.
Well, you deserve something for your trouble. You've got to go back to Dallas, postpone your wedding.
Maybe I won't. Maybe my nephew's teeth will be fixed by now and he can make the trip.
Well, how about your violin? That's something.
Well, I could buy another one, of course. Wouldn't be the same. No, Mr. Bonner. I've got over $600 I don't want. That kind of money's not lucky. Now, you wasted some time, too.
Don't look at me. If you don't want that money, you give it away. There are plenty of deserving people.
Well, I can't think of anything except maybe some roses for Mrs. Carpenter. Mrs. Carpenter. You know something I'm thinking? Mrs. Carpenter started all this when she lost her temper and threw that buttermilk. She ought to bear some of the responsibility, if you understand my meaning.
I understand your meaning, Mr. Marcus, and you're dead right. She started the whole gall darn thing.
Vince Bonner, I got a bone to pick with you.
What'd I do now?
That money I paid you to take care of Mr. Marcus, you went and stuck it back in the coffee can. And that Mr. Marcus, he went and planted that rose bush in my garden when I wasn't looking. And I made him take the 35 cents before he left this morning.
And you did just right.
Yeah, and you're going to take the $4. Vince Bonner, don't you dare ride off.
I'm sorry, Osa. I gotta go.
What's the meaning of all this?
What?
All this money in my coffee can.
Well, it's a long story, and I haven't got time to tell you, but all I can say is you had it coming.
Had it coming?
Sure, for losing your temper.
You come back here, do you hear? You come here! Come back here!
You know, I've got a feeling you can tell a man by the house he lives in. And there was a heap of pride and a man-sized share of arrogance in the owner of the Circle B.
Howdy. We ain't taking on any hands.
Now that makes us even.
And we don't hold with saddle tramps.
We're still even.
Well, say your say and get.
I need a couple of 100 feet of barbed wire to fix your...
You! There's a store 60 miles due south.
You the boss?
McKellen Burke.
Well, Mr. Burke, it's a nice little place you got here.
Little! Throw him out, Joker, on his ear. Just fixing to, Mr. Burke.
Now listen. I need some barbed wire.
Give him what he wants. You're on the wrong side of my fence. Keep your hands on those reins.
That's the second time you've sneaked up behind me, Mr. Burke.
There won't be no third. Now climb into your saddle and get.
Do you know that you and your man are trespassing?
Trespassing? On my own range? Man, you're talking wild.
Anybody interfering with government work is trespassing.
Who asked the government to come on my range? What are they doing here?
I guess you got a right to know. Come along.
Hold up. You got a name?
Yeah, I got a name. Vince Bonner.
Mr. Burke, this is a government survey. Yeah, the government surveyed through here clear back in 49.
Mm-hmm.
with 2 eyes on the Indians and 1 on the transit. So no one rightly knows where Colorado leaves off and New Mexico begins.
Well, then I'll tell you. North of my range, it's Colorado. South, it's New Mexico. Betwixt and between, it's mine. Now, you take that news back to your government.
Mr. Burke, you wouldn't be aiming to secede from the Union, would you?
I could be pushed into it.
Trouble? Oh, I hope not. Looks like we got some company for supper. Of course, you'll have to eat beans. I haven't had much time to do any hunting lately.
Are you the hunter for this party?
You might say.
Are you the head surveyor?
You might say.
According to him, you got the right to cross my land without my say-so.
That's right. But the law says we've got to leave everything just as we found it, like replacing barbed wire.
Fair enough. And that goes for my cattle. And every critter on my place, tame and wild. I catch you shooting any, and you get shot.
There's a man be a trial to his friends.
What friends? Old Burke sure had me in a spot. I was ranging 50 miles a day for game, and not finding any. You aiming to hurt someone, Sonny?
We don't allow saddle tramps on Timberlake property.
1,000 miles, nothing but peace, and a dinky 50-mile spread, nothing but trouble.
Well, if you don't turn around and head back, I'll give you the next bullet right between the eyes.
My men could sure use that rabbit I shot.
Get off our land and stay off.
All right, son, but tell your folks I'll be coming through here with a survey party soon. Beans again.
You know, I don't mind vegetables once in a while, but 3 days in a row.
It's going to be worse before it's better.
Maybe I could make friends with him, Vint.
Yeah. Just be sure and duck before he rattles. And get out your peace pipe. Here he comes.
More beans?
Yeah. Want some?
Nope. I'm aging down a couple of antelope. Bagged them about 5 miles west of here.
We have no quarrel with any man, Mr. Burke.
I have. I don't like your hunter.
Mind if I handle this, Vint?
There's nothing me and you's got to talk about as long as Bonner's working for you.
You have it all wrong, Burke. I'm the head surveyor, but Bonner's in charge.
Sure makes it tough on you. I'll send you up some more beans. Come on, Joker.
Mr. Burke, you and I are going to have a heart-to-heart talk.
We got nothing to talk about.
From now on, my men and me are going to eat meat.
You're in my way, Bonner. You saved my life.
Here, I'll give you a hand.
I don't need no help. I said I could take care of myself. You're free to hunt my range as much as you please. Come on, Joker, let's go.
This is the first real food we've had in days.
Got him with the first shot, too.
Hate to take you away from your supper, but Mr. Burke wants to see you.
What for?
Nothing to get excited about, as long as he ain't kept waiting too long.
Set yourself, Vince.
Well, if you don't mind, sir,
I said set.
Yes, sir.
Right handsome thing you done this afternoon.
I just happened to be there.
Right handsome.
All right.
It ain't every man would save an old coot who tried to run him down.
It was just as much my fault.
It was all my doings. Yes, sir, and it set me to thinking. You know, giving Vince the right to hunt ain't much to do in return for what he done.
Well, believe me, Mr. Burke, that's all I wanted.
Sit down.
Yes, sir.
So I was thinking I could take him on as a foreman in the place of Joker.
No, sir, foreman, no.
And then I harkened back to the runaway. And I thought, supposing I'd been killed.
Believe me, Mr. Burke, you're too tough to be killed.
I said supposing. But if I had been killed, the whole circle would be spread. Every last steer, every blade of grass would have gone a-begging. You see, Vint, I haven't got an heir.
Oh, well, maybe you ought to be married.
Who'd marry me?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Well, how about a widow woman? There's always a widow woman around someplace.
No. I had something else in mind.
Yeah, well, if you're going to have an heir, you got to get married.
Too late. Time passed me by. No, I got a better idea.
Well,
sit down.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, thinking that away, I got a right good idea. I'll take myself a partner. That's what I said to myself. A man that I can trust. A man that returns good for bad. A man...
Partner? Well, I'll see you tomorrow, Mr. Burke. That is, well, maybe I'll see you tomorrow. Yes, sir. Here comes Laughing Boy again.
Oop. How's my partner this morning?
Mr. Burke.
Call me McClellan, Vint.
McClellan?
Oh, Mr. Dawson. I want you and your men to eat your meals over at my ranch while Vint and I ride over and get all those papers drawn up.
Papers? What papers?
Well, didn't he tell you? We're partners.
Partners? Why, only yesterday you
Well,
were...
didn't he tell you that either? Why, old Vint here, he saved my life. All my born days, I never did see a man so modest.
Mr. Burke.
McClellan.
McClellan. I don't want half your ranch.
Now, don't start saying no to me.
But I didn't do anything worth having half
You
your...
mean to say my life isn't worth much?
I'd do the same for anyone.
Just so happens you done it for me.
Mac, couldn't we just be friends and let it go at that?
Not unless you take half of my spread. Now, I'll keep the north half and give you the south half. Well, it's a little bit rocky now.
No!
Why, you ornery, ungrateful...
Look, let's just get on with the surveying. We'll just have to eat beans, that's all.
Bunner! Vint. I just can't stand to be beholden to no man. But I'll give her a try. For you.
Well, the next couple of weeks proved one thing for sure. With Burke for a friend, I didn't need any enemies. He was at my side every waking minute. Him and that smile. His gratitude was getting so it was downright painful. Oh, he got ruffled once in a while. Once he took me out to the limits of his property and pointed to what he called the Timberlake land on the other side. He didn't exactly have a high opinion of nesters. Well, I suppose I'll bring the men back for supper as usual. See you later.
Goodbye.
Best thing I could think of was to let old Burke save my life, and that would make the two of us even. Besides, I was getting a little desperate.
You, gather your gear and pack it up. Any tricks and I'll drop your partners.
Son, you've got this all wrong.
Yeah? Well, get moving.
If you'll only take me to your folks, I'll...
Clean the other side of the creek. That's where you're going. I had a hunch you'd show up. Go on, get in line with your pals.
Now, aren't you being a mite drastic?
Shut up and start walking.
Drop that gun, Sonny.
Better do as he said, son.
Go on, do as I say.
Put your gun away. Go on. Now move. Go on. All right. The lot of you. Go back onto Burkeland.
How come you let a kid get the drop on you?
How come you let a woman get the drop on you?
Shut up. Now get started. One false move and we'll fire. The first to go will be you and you.
You're making a big mistake, ma'am. Now, if we could just talk this guy...
If you try that again...
You dang fool, you'll get us all shot.
Well, look, why don't you do something, Mr. Burke? You're the only one that can get us out of this danger.
Well, you might tell us at least what we've done, ma'am.
You're a thief and a land grabber.
A thief? Why, if you wasn't a lady, I'd...
Go ahead and try, Mr. Burke.
Come on, Ma. Let's shoot him now and get it over with.
Well, at least you might tell us what you think we stole.
You don't even lie good. Out here with your surveyors, building up a crooked claim that I couldn't fight in court against your money and a bribed judge.
And you call me a liar.
Meaning I'm one?
Meaning you just told the biggest whopper I ever heard.
You take that back.
Well, maybe it was just a mistake. These men here are doing a government survey, ma'am.
Oh, sure. The whole government comes to a stop till the Timberlake land's been surveyed.
And they don't give a hoot or a holler whose land they're on. They're running the territorial boundaries along here. Goes on this land right along here and then goes over on my land.
You don't have to shout.
Well...
Come on, Ned.
Hey, not so fast there.
All right. We apologize.
What I mean is I want you...
What Mr. Burke means is that he'd like to, invite you down to his place for a chicken dinner.
Chicken? Chicken?
Sure, aside from saving my life, I understand he makes the best chicken in these parts. I do wish you'd come.
Well, we'd love to. Thank you very much.
Mr. Burke, you know, I haven't got a great deal I can call my own. I guess the closest thing to me is this six-shooter here. I'd be much obliged if you'd take it.
I didn't save your life. And you know it very well, Bonner.
Just call me Vint.
Stop smiling at me! Miss Timberlake, you weren't fixing to kill us, were you? wasn't even loaded. Fine boy you've got here, Miss Timberlake. Come on, son. Take me to your pa.
We buried Pa June 7th last year.
Buried him?
Other side of the hill from where I saw you. Robbers got him. Couple of saddle tramps.
Dirty rats.
Pa, he didn't have a chance. Being out in the fields with only a weeding hoe.
Shooting an unarmed man.
We heard him arguing, Ma and me. And we drove him off with our guns. But they had got Pa. And they said they was coming back for us. I only wish they had tried.
Well, thank you for everything. But I've let half the day slip by.
So have we. Nice meeting you, ma'am.
Oh, thank you.
Let's
Bye.
go, Williams.
Can I come along?
You want to be a surveyor? Happy to have you, Ned.
Next time you come calling, we'll give you a more fitting reception. Goodbye, Mr. Bonner.
Oh, you're gone.
Oh. Well, thank you again.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Oh. Bye.
Bye.
Now, that's what I'd call a right handsome widow woman. You got yourself a new assistant.
One of the best. David, we've lost so much time today, I think we better work all the hours we can.
We're going to need something to eat for tonight.
Well, I could shoot you a couple of rabbits.
You could? Oh, come on up. Hubert. That's good.
That's Mom.
Hold on. Burke was really the other tramp. You all right, ma'am?
I think so.
Look!
This was awful. If I had to save old Burke again, I'd never get out from under his gratitude alive. Then I got me a real inspiration. I'd let someone else do it.
When you get close enough, grab hold of the reins. Grab the reins, son.
Well, Mr. Burke, he looked like he'd reached the end of the line. But knowing him like I did, I was pretty sure he had plenty of years left in him yet.
The end.
No, wait just a second. Don't go blaming me for this.
Partner.
No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you got it all wrong, you see.
You, Vint, can have the north half.
Now, wait, I didn't have a chance to save your honorary hide. It was Ned here that stopped the runaway. All I did was back him up. Why, you should have seen that youngster. He saved your life for sure.
Come here, son. Sit down. And you borned him.
When you came flying down that hill, Mr. Burke, you looked like the cavalry charging to the rescue.
Why, little old Ned here, he took his little old life in his two little old hands and he... And you let him. You, a full-grown man, let a half-grown boy risk his life on a runaway that you could have hauled in with one hand tied behind you.
Well, no, wait just a gall-darn second. I wasn't exactly standing around with my thumb in my mouth, you know.
You up and send a boy on a man's job. Shame on you. My boy.
Well, he did.
You know, he's going to make a mighty fine rancher when he grows up. You know, Ned, that South 50 there is a little bit rocky. But I'll tell you, when we get together, we'll fix it up all right, and you'll have a mighty fine piece of it.
Well, that's about all there was to tell. Except some weeks later, I got me an invitation to a wedding. And finally got himself an heir. All neat and ready-made. Someone else to throw that smile at.